is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Stephen Greenberg, and Stephen is one of the angels on the path that we were talking about earlier during the drinks, the social event, because Stephen is committed to finding a treatment for CAA and for the cut-like disease at the same time. And the past couple of days we've been learning a lot about the current research being done and about, well, probably the perspective on finding a treatment and other things as well. Could you tell us what would be the main take-home message for us to bring back to cut-like?
The first message, Sonas, you make me feel very good, but there are a lot of angels here and a lot of angels you have on your side, so I'm happy to be part of it, and it's been very gratifying for me. But I think two clear messages from the conference is the first is that this is a tough problem, and when I say this, I mean the cut-like disease and then the worldwide problem of people who don't inherit CAA but still get it anyway is a really big problem. And sort of the bad news is it won't be easy to make it go away. If it was easy, we would have done it already. We know from our colleagues in other diseases like Alzheimer's disease that even a lot of money and even a lot of time doesn't lead to an easy cure. These are tough diseases. The brain is a tough place to fix. That's the bad news, and everyone who lives with a cut-like disease knows it's a serious problem to have hanging over your head and makes life very hard. The good news is both the amount of interest and the amount of progress is huge. That CAA used to be cut-like disease was sort of this very tiny disease. We thought, almost nobody has it. A few people in cut-like and a few people here and there, and that has changed. It's now recognized as one of the major forms of stroke and of a major contributor to people losing memory, losing cognitive skills as they get older. So recognizing it is the first step in the battle. The second step is to be able to diagnose it in people and to make it a disease that you can study while patients are still alive, not just after they've died from it. Yeah. And the third thing is that trials have begun. We talked about one at the conference, that I don't know that will lead to the cure, but just the ability of the scientific community to come together and to work together to test potential treatments. Each one of these trials is very hard, and again, we know we usually have a lot of negative trials before we have the positive one, but I'm very optimistic. I'm not optimistic we will have the cure tomorrow. But I'm very optimistic we will have a cure, and the brain power going into it, frankly, the money now coming from our National Institutes of Health and other agencies that fund research, and the number of people who are going to devote their time to it. So cautiously good news.
Right, yeah. Well, I think that's a very good thing to mention and to take home for us also, because for us it's rather yesterday than today than tomorrow. So, but we have to be careful with everything, with our expectations, I think, in terms of how long it will take to get a treatment or to get there, and what it takes to do the research and then do a trial. So that's good. So we're hopeful, but we have to be a little bit patient.
Yeah, I'll just say this. I mean, I think the most impatient people are the patients or the family members who have it. The second most impatient people are us, the people who study it. I mean, we don't want to look at people and say, I know what's wrong with you and I can't fix it. We want to look at people and say, I know what's wrong with you and I have a way to fix it. Exactly. So we're impatient. We're also realistic as you are. And the other point to make, and I think the people in the cut-like community, or the community that suffers from cut-like disease, should understand that that research that helps them will help other people as well. That again, if it's you, if you have the disease, it's very important to you, as it should be. But that the research that happens, that the cut-like community participates in, I believe will not only help them, but will help a worldwide community
Right.
because of the power of being able to perform research in people who carry the congenital disease. So each time, always you should participate in research only when you feel good about it and you want to do it. But when you do it, you should sort of pat yourself on the back and say for two things. I mean, we hope helping yourself and your community, but helping the world. This is a big problem.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Because it's been mentioned a couple of times that the congenital disease is a model for CAA worldwide. Do you think it's that everybody here is aware of the fact now that they would maybe be in contact with us and ask us to join in research?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we owe a lot of gratitude. I know you and I think other people in the community have come in contact with the people at LUMC. It's a world-class university medical center for everything, and then really the leaders in research on CAA and on the congenital disease. And you remember I said it at the meeting yesterday that the LUMC have been a model for what it means to be a global citizen, because they have said to the finest researchers in the world that we're open to work together. This isn't something where we want all the credit and only us and nobody else can study it, but the opposite. And so and that attitude means everything. So so already what we've learned has changed our understanding of CAA, and we will continue to work closely with our wonderful colleagues at LUMC.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so thank you. One final thing. My mom, who you've met before and made quite an impression, I think. She's very disappointed that she couldn't be here today. So we'd like to surprise her, and the surprise is you. So could you maybe give her a little hi or whatever?
Well, the truth, Sonia, you know I never lie, is if you could do a little x-ray or a little MRI scan of my heart, you would see a little spot for your mother, because my short meetings with her have been wonderful, and she looked me in the eyes, I told you, and said, I'm counting on you to do something, and when Yanni de Vroeg looks at you and says that, you don't forget it.
Yeah.
And so I sent her my warm greetings. We missed her. I appreciate, Yanni, you sending your daughter and Yolanda to be with us here from the CAA Association and Patients Association. And I send back my warmest love to you and my message that I haven't forgotten you, and I will not forget you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah.